it's Judy Clock at Stampin' with Crafty Clock. Thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel to check out my latest video. I hope that you like what I have in store for you. Ready? Let's go. Hey Stampers, it's Judy Clock here at Stampin' with Crafty Clock. Thanks so much for stopping by this evening. It's just about 7:30, like 7:29, 7:30. I'm going to give it just a few minutes to see if anybody else pops on. But I don't know if you're all done and ready for the holidays, but I'm still working on a few things. I'm still working on getting my Christmas cards in the mail. I have a few gifts that I need to package up. So if you're here, go ahead and give me a hello, a thumbs up. Just let me know that you're out there watching. Hi, I see a couple of people have joined us. So tonight I'm not going to work on cards because I need to work on some gift packaging. So I'm actually going to give credit for this basic design to my teammate Jody Holtzhauser. She did a video on her channel, Stonehouse Stampers, about a month or two ago, and I really liked it, and I needed to do some packaging. So I went ahead and I sort of took her basic design and just kind of changed it up just a little bit. But this is what's called a book box. And we're going to make one tonight. It's really simple. As you can see, there's no stamping involved, but you can use it to hold a variety of things. So I made, Cheryl's watching, and Cheryl's knows what I'm going to show you, but I made these little calendar inserts. They sit in a 4x6 lucite frame, and I made one for every month. And these are for my sisters. Every year on our mother's birthday in October, we give each other what we call an October 21st present, just to kind of commemorate our mom and to remember her birthday. So obviously I'm a little late because it's getting closer to December 21st than October 21st, but my sisters knew I was going to be late this year. But I just finished these up today, and then I needed to, I wanted to send them in a pretty little box. And the good thing is that while they're waiting to use each month, they can store them in this little box, and the beauty of it is that when it's tied shut, it can sit on the shelf just like a book. So let's go ahead and get started. And I will have the dimensions for all of these. They'll be posted to my blog later this week, and they'll probably also be on my YouTube channel. So if you don't subscribe to Crafty Clock on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe and let me know when you're done. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to bring in, I'm going to bring in my scoring tool, my score tool. And I'm going to start out with a piece of cardstock. I have Balmy Blue here, and this is 11 by 7. So I'm going to put the 11-inch side across the top. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that? Now you can. And I want to score it at 5 inches and 6 inches. Okay, that's all we're going to do for that. That's going to be our book cover. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for a minute. We have one more piece to score, and this is actually going to be the box inside, the side that's going to sit inside the cover. And we're going to score it at 1 inch all around. So this is 8.5 by 6.5. So we're going to score it at 1 inch. We're going to score it at 7.5 inches. Then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, and we're going to score it again at 1 inch and at 5.5 inches. Whoops. Sometimes it goes out of track. Okay. That's all we're going to do with our scoring. So now let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to lay my box bottom, my box base aside for right now, and we're going to work with the cover. So I'm going to go ahead. I want to make sure I get those really crisp folds. So I'm going to take my bone folder. And again, if you don't have this in your craft stash, if you're a paper crafter, this is kind of an essential must-have tool. This and your paper snips. And I love my long sleeve t-shirts, but I hate when the sleeves roll down. Okay, so now I've got that. Now I want to round my corners a little bit. So I'm going to take my detailed trio punch, and I'm going to figure this out. And that's not the right one. That's why it's not working. Put it in there. I want to round the corners. So I'm going to do that on all 4 of my edges. And it just, you don't have to do it, but I think it just makes it look a little bit more polished. Okay, so now, oh, that one didn't really go through. Hold on, let me try that one more time. There we go. All right, so now we have that. Now for the cover, we're going to get, we have 2 pieces of a corresponding color. Boy, I can't talk today. These are 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. Sorry. And then I have one that is 6 3/4 by 3/4, and that's for the spine of our book. So I'm going to round just 2 of the corners on here because they're going to sit kind of right here. So I'm just going to do that on each of these pieces. Okay. So that we can get these done. Oh man, I'm having a rough time with this tonight. I don't know why. All right. And then this one needs to be, I don't think that one was a good punch. Hang on a minute. That's still not really punching right. Hold on. Okay, that's as good as it's going to get. Then I have 2 pieces of designer series paper. These are 6 1/2 by 4 1/2. And again, I'm going to round the 2 corners because these are going to sit on top of that Highland heather. Now, this works best if you don't have a paper with an obvious one-way design. If you have an obvious one-way design, you have to make sure, because one's going to go this way and one's going to go this way on your book cover. So you just have to make sure that you do the designs the right way. The snowflakes, there's no one way, so it doesn't necessarily matter how I punch it. Either way will work. Okay, I'm going to grab my liquid glue and I am going to start adhering this. And I'm just using liquid glue because since it's a box, I want it to have a really strong hold. And the glue will actually give me just a little bit of wiggle room as I lay it down. So it's a little bit more forgiving than the Stampin' Seal. And again, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I've got about 1/8 of an inch on every side. Okay. All right, not too bad. There we go. We got one. Let's go ahead and get the other one. And again, liquid glue, great for projects where you need a really strong hold. You don't want the box to fall apart right before you give it to the recipient. So you want to make sure you have a nice strong hold. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and put these down here. I need a little bit more glue, kind of right there. All right. Just give this a minute to set. Sometimes you just gotta, sometimes I'll go back and I'll put like, if I notice my corners coming up, I'll just put like, just another little dab of glue closer to the corner. Wipe that off. Okay. So this year my family reinstituted our Make It gift. So I can't tell you whom I have because my older sister may be listening and she's not very good for keeping secrets. We love her, but keeping secrets is never her strong suit. So Joanne, if you're listening, I apologize and I'm giving up all your secrets. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put these on, and then we're going to go ahead and do the spine. And again, same thing, just, a little bit of glue. What was that, the old commercial, a little dab will do you? You want more than a little dab here. You want enough to make sure that you hold this really tight. Okay, hey Debbie, how are you? So, and I love the way these colors work together. They're really not traditional Christmas colors, but they really are pretty colors. And I do like the snowflakes because you can use it not just for the holidays, but you can use it for a winter birthday or really any winter occasion. If you have, an anniversary coming up or a birthday or, some other special day in your family where you celebrate and you give gifts. This is a great design for that. And I got those in there. Okay. Because it doesn't scream Christmas. It just screams winter. All right. So now we've got ahead and we're going to go ahead and put our spine on. And again, if you have the silicone mat, when you're working with like these these skinnier pieces. That's really good because the silicone doesn't have things stick to it. So, well, actually, I forgot. My sister Joanne did give me the bigger silicone mats I could use too. Another good tool to have in your craft stash. Hey, Fran, how are you? Don't you love this color combo? Me too. Like I said, this is not, it doesn't really scream Christmas, but it's a great one for any winter occasion. And this could carry you, you know, all the way through to like February birthdays and anniversaries, and heaven forbid, even March. Let's hope we don't have snow in March still. All right, that's it for the outside. We're going to go ahead, and that's all we're going to do on the outside. Now, before we go and we do the inside, I want to lay down our ribbon because this is what we're going to use to close it. So I want to make sure that we get that on. And of course, there's my Stampin' Seal. I want to make sure that I find the center of my ribbon. I'm trying to make sure I keep this on camera. Sometimes I forget that I need to keep this on camera. Okay. So now I've got this for the center of my ribbon. I'm going to lay down like a line of Stampin' Seal. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my ribbon, the center, and I'm just going to kind of, but don't worry if it doesn't go exactly on the Stampin' Seal because that will be covered up by our other things. Now I have another piece in here that is, again, 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. This one's a little bit short. This one's actually 4 1/2 because this was what was left over after I cut the box bottom. But because it's on the inside, I don't think it matters that it's just a teeny tiny bit shorter, and it is the same color. So I think when Jody did hers, she actually used like a complementary color. I kind of liked having it all the same color on the inside. I felt it didn't really like draw attention to it because it was the inside of the box. So I just put the fancy stuff on the top and bottom on the outside, and she just, I think, did it on the top. But you know, it's a personal choice. It's whatever you want to do because again, it's your box and you can do whatever you want. And that's the beauty of this, is that you can see an idea and take the basis of that idea and then kind of make it your own, which is kind of what I did here. So even though it's like, you know, 1/4 inch shorter than it should be, I think it still works. Again, because it's all the same color. All right, we're going to lay that aside for right now. We're going to pull our box bottom back in. And again, we want to make sure we crease these folds really well. So I'm just going to, let me just put that over there for a minute. Make sure I get my bone folder and just get a nice crisp edge on these. Is everybody ready for the holidays? Anybody have shopping left to do? I have so many packages coming from Amazon and Target and Kohl's that I don't even know what's still coming. All right, now we're going to take our paper snips and we're going to snip along the score lines from the edge to that first score line, to that 1 inch score line on both sides. And we're cutting right where the score lines are. So we're going to do that on both sides. And that's what we're going to fold up to create our box bottom. Okay. But these go together pretty quickly. So before I go ahead and fold it up, because it's just easier when the box is laying flat, I want to go ahead and I want to decorate this. Now, I'm going to put this on 3 sides, okay, with the designer series paper and our corresponding paper. This side is going to face like the inside spine, so we don't need to decorate that. So we're just going to decorate 3 of these sides. Again, pulling in my little silicone sheet. And don't forget that our end of year closeout sale is still going on. Some things have already sold out. It's so funny. I went the first day and I was putting some ribbon from the clearance section in my cart. And from the time I put it in my cart to the time I went to go check out and pay for it, it was sold out. And we're talking maybe 3 minutes. So you really got to act fast on these end of year closeouts. And the clearance rack was just updated. So there were lots of good deals there. I haven't checked it today. But you know, you can sometimes get some really good deals. So make sure you take a look at the clearance rack and see what's there. And don't forget to take advantage of the end of year closeout. We're getting ready to launch our January to June mini catalog, and if you don't have a demonstrator that you work with, I would love to send you one. So go ahead and leave me a comment, and I'll be sure to get a catalog in the mail to you. As soon as I get I already went through my first batch that I ordered, so I have to order more, but they'll be coming, and I'll be happy to send you one. Okay, so now we have all that done. There we go. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I got to get that glue off of that later. I'm just going to go ahead and, again, put these on. And like I said, it's just easier to do this when this piece is laying flat, because when it's folded up, it's just a little bit harder to do. So, I mean, it's not impossible. Lord knows on the first one I forgot to do it when it was flat, and I put it on after it was already built, but it's fine. It works no matter what. And again, this is just an optional thing to do. You don't have to do this. I just kind of like to make it look a little bit pretty, especially if you're going to give it as a gift, because then the box that you've made actually then becomes part of the gift, because, you know, you poured your heart and soul into making this. You know, don't let them know how easy it is. Make them think that you worked and sweated a long time. And I'm just going to trim these up because I want to make sure that I get a good level fold. And sometimes when you go to trim it, I'm really not the best trimmer. That's why I kind of hate fussy cutting. Like, I'll do almost anything so I don't have to fussy cut. And some people love fussy cutting. To me, when I do it, it looks like, you know, a 5-year-old did it. But we all excel at different things. Fussy cutting is not in my wheelhouse. All right, we're just going to go ahead and fold these up like that. And I just, again, hold them. The liquid glue sets pretty quickly, so you don't have to hold it. Oh, Fran, you're already getting one. It's already in the mail. Well, it will be in the mail tomorrow, but thank you. Yes. If anybody ordered from me within the last 6 months, they are automatically getting a catalog. So hopefully it will be there early next week, Fran. I noticed the mails really have slowed tremendously. I mailed some stuff out on Tuesday locally, so, you know, like Leesburg to Leesburg, and I thought it would be there, and it's not. So I think the volume of mail has definitely increased with the approaching holidays. Okay, so there we have our box bottom. That's it. Now, let me go ahead and continue to do this. Put that on. Again, you want it to make sure you have enough glue to hold that box to the bottom. We're going to pull back our box cover. All right. And now we have this side where the whole ribbon is exposed, and that's where we want to put our box bottom. Remember, this side without the decoration is going towards the spine. So the sides that we decorated will be seen top and bottom and on the outside edge of our box. Because when this is folded up, you're not going to see that inside edge. All right. And now we fold it up, and then we tie a little ribbon. And this is that Snowflake Splendor ribbon. Not my favorite ribbon. It's very stiff, and I don't really think it ties into a nice bow, but it seemed to go with this paper, so I went ahead and used it. I'm going to trim this up like I usually do. And you probably want to use about, I don't know, that was about 24 inches of ribbon. You could probably get away with maybe 22 inches. And that's it. If you want to add something a little extra, you can go ahead. This one I monogrammed for my sister, so it's got her initial on it. Surprisingly, we're all J's, so this could really be for myself or any one of my sisters. We have 2 more. But yeah, and that's it. So go ahead, if you leave me a like or a comment, I will go ahead and put you in a drawing. I will send you all of the pieces, all pre-cut and ready to assemble, and all you need to do is assemble it. When you, I'll go ahead and send you probably the same, I don't think I have any more of this paper, but it will be a snowflake theme box that you will get. That's it for me tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. I hope you have a good time. I'll see you next week.